Hello and welcome back to the channel where we are building a video game from scratch using Love2d and Lua. We're on the road to finishing the demo, hopefully by this month. And the idea is, we just added some health potion stuff. We've got all the scenes added for the shortcut for the Ice Mountain teaser where we get the ice potions. So, oh, you know what? We still have to redesign the holy room because now it's just totally broken. So yeah, we found a bug in the game with the chasm detection, so we need to fix that by redesigning this room here. So we can still, I don't know, we can I don't know, it's kind of lame just making a whole bunch of holes, but we need to maybe we can leave a couple of rubies in the way there. Well, then it'd force them to have to harvest them. I don't know what I want to do here now that we fixed our bug. That Jimmy shot, man. Oh my gosh, like the out of focusness of him too is like, what a cutie. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really like this. We can put some boxes. We can put some crates here, just so that you have to. I mean, in order to get into this dungeon, you have to have the green tunic anyway. So, I'm not really sold on needing to put boxes in there. And one thing I just thought of is if there's a coin in a box and you break a crate while it's pushed over a singular chasm, the coin is probably just going to float there. Maybe we should test that. Basically, for the demo, we are super close to being done. We have to, we're trying to finalize like the overall layout, and then we're going to make it look pretty with the actual final sprites. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's okay. I mean, it is dangerous. The fact is, you know what? I don't know. Part of me wants to bring back the safe walking. So if we bring back... Oh my gosh, it's going to be a lot. Basically, the issue was we used to be able to walk across singular chasms. If you get like pixel perfect, like right on the edge there, you were able to walk across. You were able to walk across single chasms, which in this case would still be impossible because there's a treasure chest there, so you couldn't hack your way to get to the chest with the green tunic in there. So that's good, but let me see if there's any other hacks. If we were to fix it and revert it, I'm trying to think if there's any other hacks we don't want possible. Down there is just the mineral deposit room, so that's okay. And then here, you could... Yeah, over here it is also... Other than that last shortcut, that last one, let's check the last final room too. We really messed that up. We gotta redo that. Yeah, apparently you could probably just break it there. Oh god. Okay, yeah, okay, so in this room at least there is no there's no way to cheat it. So if we were to bring back the old chasm logic, we would need to do some advanced chasm logic for singular chasms or for whole chasms like this. I call singular chasms the ones... Where are our bats, man? Come we didn't get bats? What is going on? We're supposed to have bats in this room. Let's see. Yeah, there's supposed to be 2 bats in this room. What the heck changed? Man, dude, I don't see what changed for the bats. I should have used a commit message saying that we added some bats in there. Huh. Okay, well, let's see. This is a map 213, so let's just see. Come on, man. $213. Oh, we did. Okay, we turned off the bats. Okay, we turned off the bats. Okay, that makes me feel better. Okay, so the idea is let's get our old chasm detection back. What sucks is we'll have to write. This does really suck, because kind of how we're doing this right now is we loop through our global map.lua, which is a huge table of tile IDs for the entire game. It's every single tile ID for all of these sprites in this 200 scene map. So what we're doing is we're cycling through one at a time, every single row. You know, we're looping through and we're putting them in the correct location. So on the first pass, you know, we loop through like this for the first row, then the second row, then third row, all the way to the end, all the way down, and we insert them into the right scene. So like we put the tile ID as a raw tile ID in the field of the scene where it's map 1-1. There's a dot ID that's getting stored the value that this is from the sprite sheet. So what we're doing is we're looping through it, and then as we get you know, we're looping through and we ask, I think we call it, if tile is between, you know, 200, which is this one, or 215 or whatever the range really is, we say if it's in that range, then put it into the chasm table of the current scene. So what's happening when we do that is we go to come in here, we're looping through. This is all edge pieces, so it's a collidable map object, but then it gets to a chasm and says, oh, it's a chasm, so let's insert this tile ID into the dot chasms. And then we check player to chasm collision, and then it pulls us in. Now the problem we had was the single chasms had a 1 pixel tolerance for us to walk across, which was kind of nice in the sense that it would let you skip a lot of this room, right? Because it would let you walk on the corners or on the edges, but most of the edges, when we need to like really force the player, we do like a full chasm here. But it's kind of a nice little, I won't say like Easter egg, but like things like a crate can be pushed on top of a single chasm and it won't fall, which is useful for pushing it in front of bat holes, right? Which is what this whole first dungeon is kind of based apart. You push the crate from here to here to here. It blocks the bat hole. The bat can't fly in. So it's nice that single chasms have slightly different logic. So this second room in here was all holes basically, and it was to kind of like show the player like, oh, just because you think you can't walk here, if you space it out just right, you can walk on the edges. But that meant that there was the same pixel of tolerance for these chasms, so we were able to walk right on top of the air here when we shouldn't have been able to walk on the air. So my idea is, I liked the collision tolerance for the single pits that we used to have. When we went to fix this bug where they fell, we had to expand the collision detection for the pits, which made it easier to fall in when you would try to cut a corner or try to like speed run it. It would pull you in sooner than we liked. So I kind of want, and you know what, this won't actually fix that issue, because what I'm proposing is we give the new chasm detection, which will pull you in and you can't walk on the air, which we need for this, because you can't just walk on the air. You know, that'll just break the game. We can't have people doing that. So I'm thinking that we go back to our original pit collision for single pits, which means we'd have to have a special condition to capture these two tile IDs, insert it into a single pit table, and then do both overall pit collision detection and single pit detection. And if it's a single pit, we do the old collision logic. If it's a whole pit like this, then we need to do our new collision logic. And that's why I say it won't solve our problem of like, it's still a little too sensitive for my liking, because you can't quite walk in a diagonal right over a corner without it pulling you in instantly, because the collision is expanded. So the only other fix we could do for that is to change the tile ID to be more like, you know, instead of the pit. Yo, what up, Magnetonics? How's it going, dude? Yeah, so this is the thing, like these pit tile IDs, if you collide with them, see how like the square that we're interacting with here has ground, and ground kind of implies that you'd be safe because you're on ground, but as soon as your pinky toe collides with this thing, we're colliding with it, so it pulls you in even if you walk on the corner like this, because as far as this tile ID is concerned, you're colliding with it because your pinky toe is like 3 pixels in. But I don't think that should pull you in and kill you, because you're kind of walking on the corner. So the idea is like we go back to like 2 different pit chasm collision detections so that we can do the holy room up on top, but still preserve the bug fix that we just made yesterday in the whole chasm, the bigger whole chasm. I need better names for that, but we do that, and then I think we'd also have to remake some of these sprites so that the holes are part of the ground tiles instead of the chasm tiles. And what we can do is we can kind of split the difference, where the ground tile would have this first layer, this first pixel layer of the hole, which is just 3 black pixels on either side, or 3 or 4 pixels, so that it's like the start of a hole, but it won't trigger the collision detection until it's on the second pit. We're trying to finish the demo, Magnetonics. We're trying to finish the demo this month, so we're basically done with all the level stuff. I mean, I'm rehauling this stuff because there was a bug I didn't realize was in there. But yeah, we're trying to finish the demo this month, so we're working towards that. I think we can do it. I mean, other than the unforeseen bugs and play testing, but if we can get to a place where people can play test it by the end of the month, we'll be in a good spot. So yeah, it's like a 2-part fix for this. Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice once the demo's ready, because then I'm gonna deploy a mobile version of the demo to the website, make it work fine on the website, and then I'll be stopping development for the web deployment, because it's just too much stuff to juggle. But at least like the demo will be available on the website. I can point people to the website easily. It'll link to the Steam page, which you can, wish list or download the demo for the computer, so that it can allows you to save your progress and everything like that. So I think it'll be a good spot in development once the demo's ready and the Steam page is up. So we're just trying to get there by the end of the month, at least ready for playtesting by the end of the month. Which, if we can knock out this chasm stuff, all we have left in our Kanban board is two or three new NPCs. We need to redesign. We need to add the Fisher hut or the Fisher boat, whatever we decide to do there, and then finalize some new overworld tiles. But other than that, it's shaping up to be about as complex as I want it for the demo. So we've got very few things to do. If we can knock this chasm thing out today, that would be great. So let's try to do it. Yeah, I think the solution is twofold. We go back to our old collision for the single pits. We go to our new collision for our chasms. Maybe we call them pits and chasms. Like pits will be the singular hole, and then chasms will be the gaping hole. Yeah. And then the second part of that fix is to update. We'd have to make a whole set of new dungeon ground tiles to have 1 pixel of the edge piece of the hole, so that we can make the collision detection a little easier for the chasm collision. Because when we walk on a corner, we don't want to get pulled in when we collide here. We want to get pulled in when we collide, or we don't want to get pulled in when we collide here on like 1 pixel, because that's mostly ground. But if we're colliding with 2 or 3 pixels, we'd probably want to pull in and get pulled. So I think that's good. I think that wouldn't be that hard. So let's take a look at how we're inputting the chasms right now, and we'll have to have a pits table to go with it, and do the old collision detection for the pits and the new stuff for the chasms. So the new stuff is already for the chasms, so all we have to do is add the pits and then add our old logic in. So I think it shouldn't be too hard. I did used to have a .pits table, and we took it out because it was our old logic. We rehauled it for the better collision detection on all corners. So we'll have to redo it. So let's go to where we're doing this. We have in our constants, we have like a declaration of tile, pit, chasm, starter, chasm, def, begin, all this stuff. So look, chasm, def, begin, 15 to 32. So that's the tile IDs that if we pull up our, what do we call it? Tiled map, tiled numbered. Here's our numbered tiled. So it's 15 to 32. So we're saying from 15 all the way to the end of the page here is a chasm. So that's kind of saved for chasm. So let's start it at 17 and go to 32, so that 15 and 16 can be pits instead of chasms. So we'll start it at 17. Start it at 17 to 32, and then 14. God, I need to write this down. 15, 16 are chasms, and then 17 plus is 15, 16 are pits. 17 plus is chasm. So we will change our chasm def begin to be 17. We do have a square chasm ID. I don't think we use that anywhere, do we? We don't use it. Okay. Well, we can do... Yeah, we want basically the same thing, but for pits. We could say... since it's only 2 values, we can literally just ask if it's 15 or 16, then we know it's a pit. So we don't have to have like a range. Let's see where we use this range to kind of populate our chasms, because it's like right here. So in our that's not the place I'm looking for. I'm looking for in our data downloader. Right here. Yes. Okay, so look, if we're cycling through our above ground tiled map, which is where we draw, the layer that we draw these chasms, if it's greater than or equal to the begin and smaller than or equal to the end, then we're going to insert a chasm into that pit. So into that chasm table. So we want a pits table as well to do specific logic just for the pits. So we're going to say basically the same thing, but we're going to say if this is equal to either, not this enum, but if it's equal to 15 or if it's equal to 16, if it's one of those two, then we want to insert not a chasm. Oh shit, man. Chasm is a class. Let's see. Does the class, because this could work, we would just have to, oh my god, we don't have shit on this. All a chasm is a freaking coordinate. So where are we doing the collision, the chasm top collide or whatever? What method is that defined on? Where is it, man? Really? What's going on? Chasm top left collide. It's on a player class. Okay, so we can just, yeah, this should be able to work. So we basically, sure, let's just add the chasm because it's giving us the coordinates we need for the collision detection, but we got to put it in our pits table, which we don't have. We got to create that. So in the data downloader, when we go to create all of our scenes, we're going to say, give us an empty table called pits to store all our pits in, bro. It's like when you spit out the cherry pits. It's a place to spit the pits in. Okay, so we have a pits. If it's a tile ID on the above ground tile map, we're going to insert it into the pits, not the chasms. So we need to go to where we're cycling through our chasm for the detection. Chasm detection we have here under, shit, man. How do we know not to push? Because if we have a single pit, we were not making a crate fall into the single pit if it's pushed. And I'm not sure where we were defining that. How do we say if the tile is greater than... Is it this +2? +2, yeah. So we offset. Okay, so we don't, this is for the pushable. See, we're in the pushable class. We're saying if we're greater than the +2, which is our 15 and 16 negated, we negate those pits and only check the chasms. Then we check if it's falling. So we already kind of had that functionality built in. So now we just need to go to where we do the methods here and define this in the old terms for a pit collide. So we need the same sort of, we detect every corner of the collisions so that we know which way to drag the player when we collide. If it's a top right collide, we drag up and to the right, or we drag to the center of the pit. So we have to know which collision we trigger to know where to drag our player, which we could do a different way now that I think about it, but this is just the way we have it. We could just tween it to the, yeah, that's how we had the old pit collision, but I don't know, man. We gotta make it up as we go along. So let's say we need the old logic was good for this, which we changed yesterday. So I'm thinking that we can just pull the same code that we used to have. So here's the different functions. Oh gosh, okay. So yeah, we need to, let's just duplicate these methods, but call them for pits, right? So it's a pit top left collide. So pit top left collide, and then we need every corresponding pit collision with the old logic. Oops. Okay. So now we just need to give us the proper coordinates for the old logic. So on this pit top right collide, what was different? Pit top left collide. We took out, right? We took out top right collide. We took out this stuff. So this is the code we need. That's the one. So we need a chasm x plus 1. We got that. Chasm x plus 2 right here. So it's a 2 pixel buffer on the left and right, or actually just the right side. And then we need a -1 on the chasm top right. Okay, is that the only change? I think so. Let's look back. Yeah. Okay. Then bottom left. Pit bottom left needs this old stuff, which is just a -1, I guess. So pit bottom left, we need the -1 on the bottom left height. Bottom left height right here. This needs to be a -1. Okay, and then the bottom right needs, that looks it. Oh I think we skipped something. Did we get top right? Top right. We got the +2, the -1, bottom left. We got the -1 right there. Okay. Okay, so we just need the last one. And the only thing is we need to get the -1. And that's it. This is the wrong one. Shit. This one on the bottom right collide. Bottom left collide, bottom right collide. Did we screw this up? Pit bottom left has a +1. Bottom left, it actually needs a -1. Okay. So this needs a -1 because we need the old method, not the new method. So we need this +2 and -1 on the bottom right collide for pit. So here's the pit, and we need chasm x +2 here. And then we need chasm bottom right height -1, not +1. Okay. So those should be the only differences for the collision. It's just like, it's like a pixel or so less of a buffer on the, or more of a buffer on the pit collision, so that you don't fall into the pits, to allow us to walk on the holy room and do that stuff. So we've got the method. We should have the pit tile IDs being inserted into the .pits table. So now we just need to actually do the collision in our, when we do our collision, when we say this chasm bottom right collide, whatever that is, when we do that in the map here. You know, we need to do this. This is player to chasm and pit. So we cycle through the chasm. So we basically need this exact thing, but for pits. and to do the different method we just wrote instead of the chasm collision. So if we're not already falling, we cycle through. So we're going to leave this last end there and do the same sort of thing, but with our pits. So we cycle through our pits, and then whenever we do a chasm collide, we can't just replace it because we need to do this only on the method. So pit, top right collide, pit, all this stuff. Pit. Anytime we use the method. So anytime yeah. So we're basically just doing two types of collisions. Either we do the lenient collision for the pits, or we do the strict collision for the chasms. Okay, so now that we do that, we still trigger the same thing. We just say, okay, we collided with the chasm that we inserted, which the chasm we inserted was a chasm type object that we still inserted of type chasm. So we should be able to say we were collided with this chasm, so therefore trigger a down left fall. It feels like ages ago I did that, but let's see if it works. We draw our pits in the same tile ID as the above, or in the same layer as the above ground tile ID, and we're crashing out here for some reason. Bad argument 1 to pairs in map 210. Oh, it's not pit, it's pits. Okay, so let's see. We didn't crash. Let's see if the chasm detection's still working. Oh, it didn't drag us. Did it? Oh, yeah, it does. Okay. Okay, so it looks like this is working. Can we trick it and walk diagonally? Not diagonally, but like in that sweet spot. It doesn't look like it. The way to test it is, it's easier to test the vertical cheat. Oh god. It's easier to test the vertical cheat because it's just 1 pixel of tolerance on the top of a chasm. And then we'll test it. This is why we had the bats turned off, so we didn't have to deal with this. Okay. So this right here should be, yeah, it does have the more aggressive pull. So let's see if this one allows us to cheat it. Oh! Shoot, man. Well, yeah, we're still getting pulled in. We're still getting pulled in. So that kind of tells me that we're either still inserting the chasms based on... Well, what's weird is we do it based on the enums which we updated. So when we go to insert a chasm, not there. It's in our data downloader, which is in our declarations right here. So yeah, we say if it's greater than or equal to the chasm begin. Okay, and then we define this as 17 now instead of 15. So we should be omitting the chasms. Okay, I'm curious if we turn this off, because we might have just screwed up the new pit collision method. So I'm going to just turn off our chasms. So we should be able to walk over chasms. But then pits, if we still have get pulled, we do. So it sounds like we just messed up the collision. It sounds like we just messed up the old collision. So we can either check the old collision. It's tough to see which lines we need, but let's go one at a time. We want this old logic for our player, so I highlight the top left collide for pit first. So this is pit top left collide. So pit top left collide. Pit top left collide. We need a -1, +1, -3. That looks right because we've got, actually, it's right here. We need the -1 here. Okay, so we need a -1 there. We get a +2. Okay. Yes. Okay, so we got the -1. Let's look at the next one. Chasm. It'd be a pit top right collide. Pit top right collide. Okay, so let's look through it. We need a +2 on the chasm X, which got that. And then we need a -1 on the top right height. Yep. Okay, let's do the next one. We found one mistake. I don't know if that's enough to fix it though. So bottom left collide. Right here. We've got bottom left Y -1. Yes, then we have the -1 here instead of the +1. That looks right. Then in our bottom right collide. Oh, that's... Hold on a sec. We need bottom left collide right here. Oh, this... This should be... Did we not change this one? Because why? This should be a plus. This one should be a plus. So when we did it earlier, we changed the chasm. We changed the chasm method, not the pit method. So this bottom left height should be a +1. Yeah. Okay, and then the bottom left is just this -1. That looks right. Because if those two were the same, so that was the old collision. Bottom right collide. We need a +2 on the chasm X, which we don't have. Well, that's on... This is on the chasm. I almost did the same thing. There we go. We do have the +2 here. And we also need a -1 on the chasm bottom right, which we have. And we have the +1 for the chasm collision. So let's try this. We still have chasm insertions off, so it's just pits so that we can test the holy room. Let's see right here. Yes. Okay. So we do have, if you line up pixel perfect, you can walk across the pits here. And let's test the vertical, which you can. Cool. So we can, and see the leniency feels better on this one. But we can't have that leniency on the chasm collision because otherwise we can walk on thin air, which was the issue. So now that we have separate collision detection for the chasms as we do the pits, now we just need to test and make sure that pits logic is working, and then we can update the sprites to be a little more forgiving on the corners, which means we'd have to redo Dungeon 1, the 6 screens of Dungeon 1, also to have the better edge pieces, but... Okay. Well, let's see, because that's not bad. I mean... Yeah, you know, I don't know. Maybe we leave it. Well, it feels a little... I feel like only the top right collision is a little rough on that. No, it'd be the player bottom right collide, which is the same method that would use to walk on air, right? So we don't want to modify that, but yeah, it looks like we can't walk on air here, which is good. Yeah, I don't know. I think we just leave it. I mean, I think it's okay. It doesn't bug me as much as I thought it did. It's just that, yeah, we'll turn this back into a holy room. It's just that, yeah, I don't know. It feels a little unforgiving, but also your toe touched the chasm, you know, so maybe you deserve to get pulled in. Gotta be careful, man. Okay, I think I'm okay with this. And let's just add the holy room back. If it really bugs me, we can do what I was saying and just give it one more pixel space of edge piece so that the ground, so like the chasm starts on the ground piece so that the collision doesn't trigger until one more pixel in. So we definitely could do that. We'd have to redraw all our maps. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal. I say we just keep chugging along. If it bugs me later, we can always come back and fix it. It won't be that hard, but it would take probably like 45 minutes or an hour to do. And I don't think it's coming from a place of laziness. I just don't think it really matters. Like if it bugs me again, if it bugs me and I'm like that was unfair, then we'll go back and change it. Cuz it would make these ground levels appear a little thinner because we would have one less pixel, you know, cuz the pathway here would have one pixel of this starting pathway inwards, one pixel of this starting way inwards, this one would go inwards, so there's only one pixel on the chasm, one pixel of ground on the chasm. So it would shrink the pathway by about 2 pixels, at least on the horizontal ones, and that might feel too small. We could mock it up and see. Let's mock it up and see if it looks too skinny, because it's like the floor will look skinnier, but it'll be a little. Actually, yeah, it won't even change. It won't change the collision optics, but it makes the walkable floor look a little smaller, so that it feels a little more fair when you actually get pulled in, because you're like, I was walking on the pit, even though the coordinates don't change for you getting pulled in, but how it looks, it would look like there's a bit more pit closer to you, so it feels more fair. But let's mock this up real quick. I just want to see what the pathway looks like. So we'll pull the horizontal pathway right here. We'll pull this. Where's just the horizontal pathway? Right here. Yeah, let's just try this. I'm not going to use this, but just to see, because this would be, yeah, the pathway would look 2 pixels skinnier. Yeah, we would need this. What up, Brunked? How's it going, man? Okay. So let's see. Yeah, with this new potential fix, we would move this piece onto the floor, and then we would move this piece to the edge of the chasm. And then the same for this. You know what? I'm kind of liking how this looks better. It is smaller, but... Yo, sounds good, Brunks. Yo, thanks for hanging, dude. Thanks for saying hi. I like this better. it does, like, it won't change the collision, but it just, I think, feels a bit more fair, especially on the corners for the chasm detection. So I think we will do it. I think this is okay. It looks more game accurate to be that size, because when we're looking at it on here, that does feel thick, because it's a total of, it's a 16 by 16, so it goes actually to 20. The pathway is 20 pixels tall, which is just 4 pixels off every other sprite that's in the game. So when we shrink it by 2, it's only 14 pixels instead of 12, but there is like a gradient overlap, so I think it does feel better to shrink it. Yeah, it looks better. So we'll do this. We'll take the time to do it, but I have to use the restroom. I'll be right back. I'm going to adjust Jimmy Cam real quick. As I screw it up. Okay. Yeah, I think we redo this. Okay. So all we've got to do is we need to shrink the amount of, we need to scoot everything off the edge pieces here, and we need to add that adjustment back to a new tile set of dungeon edge chasm pieces. So then we got to redraw them. We got to redraw the ground level tile layer with the new path with the edge of the chasm in there. So it won't be too hard. It's just more of a tedious thing. But yeah, we will. It's not hard. Yeah, it's just gonna take a little while. Let's save this before we. Part of me wants to save this as a backup. Yo, what up, Salto? Yo, it's going good. It's just, things that weren't on my radar just keep popping up, so it's okay. This is gonna feel better though, and we can keep the holy room doing this method. I like having separate collision detection for the pits versus chasms because they are a little bit unique. You know what though? I'm thinking of we'd have to put a whole anywhere we don't want the player to kind of cheat and walk over something, we'd have to put a double chasm there. Like we're kind of, with this logic, we're kind of baking in the ability to walk in between chasms if you space it out right. Which I think it could be a fun, like maybe we in the desert, maybe we can do quicksand pits And it's the same effect, right, where it pulls you, if you collide with it, it'll pull you into the quicksand. But if you space it out, you could kind of walk the plank, but then there's gusts of wind that can like blow you into it, and like, you know, so like we could play around with that if we want to keep that. It's just once I got rid of the holy room by fixing that bug, I missed that ability, because it looks like you should be able to do it. So I think it's the right move to include this. It could backfire on future levels, but for right now, I think we want it. So it's just tedious, man. I mean, we gotta basically make every edge piece 1 pixel smaller on each side. Which is just tedious. Can't tell if we just crashed or what. Dude, I hate when we crash. Twitch just wants to run new ads instantly. That bugs the crap out of me. What the hell piece was this? Oh, this is 3-way. Okay, so we leave this. Okay, we leave this side. Okay. Because, yeah, that's actually not part of this tile. Fuck, man. I didn't do the thing I was hoping to, which was save a backup of this before we go and overwrite it, but I just overwrote it, so we've got it in Git, so we can restore if needed. It's harder to tell when you're drawing which pieces are which now. Definitely, because this is like, oh fuck, dude. It is harder to tell which ones to draw. But we shouldn't have to redraw any of these ones. We just have to redraw the other pieces. Hell, we can even see what it looks like without adding an edge piece, and that could save us a lot of redrawing, but something tells me it won't look right. Yo, is that a mistake? What the hell? That's gotta be a mistake, right? Yeah, this should be bottom. Oh my god, dude. Okay, so look, this is right, this is top, this is left. This should be bottom, so we need bottom. Let's just see what just this does. Because like I said, it doesn't change the actual collision. But it will change how it looks when you get pulled into a pit. So right now this is a 2 pixel improvement on the pulling in. Yeah, okay, so yeah, that we've screwed that up. Yeah, it looks too rigid. Yeah, we do need the extra part. We messed up the right side. The right side of the left chasm edge, we messed that up. That's right here. Or oh my god, dude. Okay, so there's right, top, left. Oh, this is it. We just had a black space. Okay. So let's see if that fixed that part. And then it's going to be a bunch. Yo, Joey, hey, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. How's it going? How'd your stream go? Yo, Joey, what's up? We are building a top-down adventure game like Link's Awakening. So we're working on rehauling our chasm stuff right now. I'm trying to check out your page and see what you do. Are you game dev, Joey? Yo, what's up? Hope you had a good stream, man. Modeling stuff. Cool. Nice, man. Yeah, I want to get into some Blender stuff, but there's just so much I want to do with other stuff that I never get around to Blender, so I don't know if I ever actually will, but oh, Max, cool, dude. I've been playing Armored Core, trying to beat Armored Core, which is really fun. Okay, the bottom left is off. Thanks, man. Yeah, here, I can show you a bit more about it. Let me just fix this one thing real quick, and then I can show you a bit more of it. This one right here. No, this one. Huh. It's not the one I thought it was. I'm looking at this like 1 pixel edge that we have right here. See this gap of a pixel right here? It looks like it's either at the start of the bottom one needs to be shifted left, I think. So this bottom one, this one right here, needs to be shifted left. Yo, Brightside, what up, dude? Dude, we're literally working on chasms tonight. we fixed we fixed a bug we didn't know we had in the chasms, so we're back on it. That looks better. That looks better. You know, the edge pieces look a little wonky, but yeah, the edge pieces, you know, there's like one little pixel sticking out right here, but yeah. So now, so like we shrunk, oh crap, I just saw another mistake. Shoot, man, it's hard. God, I saw a 3 pixel overlap up here. We gotta turn the bats off again, man. Right here. See this 3 pixels touching each other? Because that's the one on the vertical. Okay, so it's the horizontal gap piece, which is right here. No, it's 2 pieces. Where the hell is it? We don't have it? This one. This one. Oh, see, look, right there. That's the double gap. Right there. So we'll just get rid of that. Yeah, dude. Nightmare on Chasm Street for sure. But we have... Here, I'll show you too, Bright. There's... We added like a little... That looks to have fixed it. Yeah, the corner's a little wonky, but I want to see what it looks like on the... what it looks like when we get the pathway in there. But Bright, we're doing this like kind of a troll room, but not really. It's just to show you like what's possible. We have all these chasms, right? It's Bright's favorite room. We got all these chasms. And in the game now, they're called pits. The singular ones are called pits, and the gaping holes are chasms. So, did I export that? Come on, dude. Come on, man. Let's see. Yo, yeah, man. Doing good. Doing good. Had a good run this morning and got to get some rest in. Gonna help a friend film a movie tomorrow, so that should be fun. So here's the here's this pit room. So if you space yourself just right, which I am failing to do. Shit, man. If you walk, oh my god, dude, I can't even do it. Basically, yeah, if you get the spacing just right, you can walk on these. So if you get one layer, oh my god, dude, right there. So you can, you know, it's like kind of a troll room. And I don't know if this will make the final game, but this is at least for the demo. It's just like it's supposed to be one little challenge before you get the magic potions, because if you make it past that room, you get a whole vial of magic health potions. So I wanted it to be a little challenging. I mean, it's not bad, but you can definitely easily kill yourself if you're not careful. So you get a whole health elixir in here. And then you can equip it. Oh my god, I just quit the game. But you can equip it and it'll heal you. But we need more tiles now, unfortunately. Yeah, we've got to make... Oh, it sucks. It sucks because we don't know... Oh my gosh, it's going to suck. Because we don't know how the edge pieces here line up. Because we kind of want to offset the ground with the chasm and blend it with the corner. So I think what we're going to have to do is kind of... We're going to start with this piece. And what we can do, we can just make a corresponding... What the hell are we doing here? Are we doing anything actually here? I'm afraid to draw anything over that, because if we do actually use that piece, I'm a little tempted. But what we'll do is we'll just copy it beneath us. If we do end up seeing this ground piece, we'll just have to redraw that one piece. So I don't think it's a big deal. But basically, we need this to line up with... Oh man, it sucks, dude. It sucks because we have to copy over, and this would be like, you know, this, since this is the chasm, it's a right edge. The ground is on the right edge, so we'd have to say, okay, well that means that this piece would be right here if we draw it next to the ground, and then we can say, and you know, we would say that we want this piece to have the alternating black, so it looks like it blends into the ground, right? So that's what we would need. But we need a piece for that. Oh my God, it's a lot. It's a lot. Like that would be one piece. So anytime we draw this edge piece, it's probably touching a piece like this if it's only a one side ground thing. So dude, I think what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna make a corresponding ground piece for every edge piece we have, and then we have to go in and redraw it for not only the two ice mountain dungeon rooms, but also the 6 dungeon challenge as well. So we kind of need a bunch of these. Yo, how's your weekend going, Bright? You have a good time with your roommate last night? Or birthday party, whatever was going on? Let me take a look at something here. We gotta reload this. Yes, Joey, yeah, we're using Lua for the game, Love2d game engine. Yeah, this is gonna be a mess. Because what we need is, for example, like right here, we need this pit to have a vertical, you know, top edge. We just have to kind of build it out. Left, down, down, and left. So we won't ever need like a 3-piece. You know, I hear that from people on YouTube. People will say that. I never did Gary's mod. I just did this game dev tutorial series on YouTube from Harvard, and they do Lua, so I like it. I mean, it's cool. Okay. Yeah, okay, so we don't need any 3-piece path pieces because there's no 3-piece. I guess there could be like a peninsula of land, but we haven't drawn anything like that. So I don't know if we'll need to make it just yet, but this piece is jacked up. This left side piece needs to be scooted over. Yeah, we didn't scoot this piece over. Right? What the fuck? Yeah, we need to scoot this over. do have a double up here. I don't know. Something's got to give for that, though. You can't have it perfectly loop, I don't think. Yeah, that looks fine. That looks fine. Okay. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay. So we need... Yo, Loki, what's up, man? How's it going? Okay, so I think we just kind of go about this methodically about, like... I guess we can kind of mimic the top instead of doing the corresponding one, because the path tiles aren't corresponding to the sides because they're kind of like building blocks, so we kind of just have to... Oh shit, though. You know what? We kind of do. At least for particular... Oh my gosh. Let's just go for it and we'll adjust as needed, because it's going to be too much to try and plan out perfectly. But then again, if we... You know what? Shit, dude. What we'll do... We'll leave it on a second layer so that we don't have to guess what the underneath tile is if we have to come back and fix stuff. So we'll just do it on a second layer. And since we're doing... You're making games in LibreOffice, bro? That was awesome. You're going to have to share that when you're done. I like LibreOffice. Oh, cool. I just learned about that, like a card game, yeah? High and low. I just learned about that from watching a show on Netflix. Okay, we'll just have to guess which height these things go on. You know, whether it's flush with the left corner or top corner. I'm just going to do... It's kind of a shit show, dude. It's going to be not so great. What the hell, man? Okay. Cool, man. Yeah, I'll check it out. Yeah, I was watching this Korean game show called The Devil's Game, and they did some... One of the last challenges was a higher-low poker, or, you know, higher-low type game. It was really cool. Okay, so now we need the corners and the verticals. So let's do... Are you gonna... We'll do this one. We're going to have to draw it, and then we're going to have to see what doesn't look right and then adjust the black pixels from there. Because I'm not about to try to do the layout by lining it up. We've got to just hope it lines up and adjust as needed. It's just going to be easier that way. Okay, so there's our horizontal path, our vertical path, and then we need the corners. So we'll start with bottom right. Bottom right, bottom left, top left, and then top right. then that should be it, I think. Because, yeah, like, I mean, we could make the peninsula. We haven't drawn any of those, so I don't think we'll need it. Okay. Let's try that. We'll save this as a PNG. Did that work? Let's try to draw it. Let's reload our tile. Okay, so now we need to draw the very specific edge pieces. Oh my god, dude, it's nuts. So a left only, which we don't have any of those here. Son of a bitch. Okay, let's just do the corner pieces and see. Okay, we messed up on this piece. Son of a bitch. First one we tried, we messed up. The bottom right one. Yeah, man, look at this gap we have. This is why we did it in the layer, so that we can just scoot it. Dude, how do we screw this up so bad? Okay. Okay. We need a ground piece in the very corner, so we can't have a fully black corner like that. It just doesn't look good. So any fully black corner like that needs to be a ground piece. Do we have that on any other doubles? Not here. We have a double black, but that's probably okay. Double black. Okay. It might be okay. Let's keep chugging along. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it looks a little too, well, no, it looks okay. You know, it looks like dithering, you know, it's kind of like rounded out, but that's okay. If we're consistent. Dude, this is just like a nightmare to have to redo, though. That looks good. See, we offset this one wrong. Dude, this is a nightmare. Yeah, we need to scoot. On the bottom left edge piece, we need to scoot all of them up. So bottom left, we need to scoot all of the left ones up. This one. We might need to scoot this. I don't know. Just scoot them both up. Dude, I knew this was going to be awful. Now there's a 2 pixel gap here. Yeah. You know, are we okay with it looking... You know, like, I don't like the perfect dithering, you know, I really don't. So when it overlaps like that, I think it's okay. Because it looks too clean. You know, it should feel like... That's why I like these, like, dangly dingles over here. Okay, yeah, let's do this. Dude, this takes forever. This takes forever. Like, it makes sense why we did it the other way. Because it's so much easier. Oh, man. This is like one of those things that we wouldn't do until we're, like, done designing the level. Because it's just... Okay, we need a brown piece at the top right path edge. So when there's a top right, we need a brown. Really, man, come on. Yo, what up, Puny? How's it going, man? You know, we can get rid of... I want to say we can get rid of the top piece on there, but I don't know if we can. Yo, this is... I mean, I'm doing good. It's just like, this is like the most tedious thing. I don't like the perfect dithering on here. I really don't. But any pattern, you know, any pattern is like instantly recognizable because we loop it right here. So I don't like that it's a perfect... What did it used to look like? I don't even... Whatever. We'll keep going with it. I think it's fine. It's just like, it looks a little too pristine. It should be a little muddy. See, look, we need a shift. We need to shift the bottom ones over. Oh my god, dude. It's so bad, because if we shift the bottom ones over on this one, will it line up with this top right? Okay, it's gonna suck, dude. I know, that's the real thing to do, Puny. But it's like, we'd have to know which piece it is, you know? It's like, we need to know, okay, this is a vertical piece, or this is it touches 3 edge pieces. It's the way I used to have it was a better way, an easier way for drawing, but I wanted it to be... Yeah, we might go back to that, honestly, because it's not so much that it's difficult to pull off in the drawing. Well, I mean, it is that too, but it's that it makes the level design process just take so much longer. Once we get them made, we'll see if we like it. You can just copy some pixels and misplace them. Well, the thing is, we don't know, we don't know where we need to add those black pixels for the ground, or the ground pixels over the black, because it's in relation to where they're positioned against one another. So like, I don't know of a better way to kind of do this. Because we moved... Let's look at the... See, this is where it's going to really screw up. It's like, yeah, see, for the vertical piece we just updated, these are off dithered, which looks right. But then on here, this one's all lined up. So we need to scoot. We need to scoop the top left edge piece over the top, just over by 1. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a way to, I don't know, like the old way I designed it worked better, but it wasn't lenient enough for the collision, so I just didn't. This is the whole reason why we're changing this. That, and since the tile sizes operate on a 16 by 16, when we had the edge pieces only locked to the chasm pieces, it was 2 pixels on either side, which meant that the whole pathway took up not only 16, but an extra 2 on top and bottom. So it was taking 20 pixels, as opposed to this one is just taking 18 pixels. So the 2 pixel, it takes 2 less pixels, which makes the chasm collision feel more fair. So I think this is better for gameplay, but it's also just a huge pain. It's a huge pain. But the good news is we don't have to do the edge pieces. We missed a pixel here. Missed a pixel on the right. We don't have to get this nitty gritty until we're like for sure done with designing the level. So we can still mock things up really fast. And then when we have to tidy it up, it can go a little faster. Or a little slower when we have to make it pretty. Okay. Why? Dude, why did it lose? It lost all of our layering. What the heck, dude? What the heck? We literally saved it. Oh my god, dude. What the heck? This changed. What the? Oh, okay. All we did was we saved it with this turned off. Okay. Jeez, that freaked me out. I was like, dude, I know we saved it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it looks too checkered boardy. What did it used to look like? It looks too clean this way. I'm just gonna check my video from yesterday and see how it looks. Okay, yeah, see, look at this. See here? It's not checkerboardy, it's like... Oh, these pieces have 2 gaps. Okay, see, I like when it's uneven like that. It just looks better to me. Yeah, I say we do that. Yeah, the checkerboardy looks too clean. So let's add to this one, we'll just do like every other black piece is taken off. So on this layer 1, we'll just kind of take out every other black piece. Makes it real hard to tell which piece to draw, but it'll look so much better to me, I think. Oh, it's hard, man. It's hard. Okay, this should look better. I knew it looked too clean with the checkerboard. Yeah, see, that looks so much better to me. That looks good. You know, there's some random hole bits that, well, okay, these ones line up. So that means we need to scoot the bottom on the bottom right in one or out one. Yeah, we'll shoot it left one. So bottom right edge piece, which is right here. No. Right here. Yes. Okay. Yeah, we'll just scoot these over. Okay, yeah, that looks better. Top right, we need to get rid of 1 pixel on the bottom here. Yeah, I'd like it more messy like this. It looks so much better. But we have 8 scenes to redo like this, you know? So it's not... we're not even done fixing it. But it's looking better. We get a 2 pixel addition to our pathway, which makes it feel more fair on the collision. So I think it's worth it. So tedious, man. It's mainly tedious because we still have to finish designing the sprites. Like if we were just painting it, it wouldn't be as bad. But we have to like fix all the little mistakes we find. Yeah, see, and even here, like if we get, yeah, we should get rid of this on the left side. Shouldn't. It's just one of those things. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. It kind of, yeah, dithers out. But the issue was we used to have that fade off only on the chasm pieces, and the chasm pieces are doing the collision. So that meant that 2 pixels of ground on the chasm were actually collidable to trigger a fall. So it felt unfair because you were colliding with the ground, but you were actually colliding with the chasm because the ground was drawn on the chasm. So now we split it. We split the difference so that some of the dither is drawn on the path and some of the dither is drawn on the chasm piece. No easy way to apply dither when the tiles are different. I haven't found a way to do dithering in the code. I mean, definitely not in the code, right? Because I mean, we're drawing all of our images from one PNG, from one atlas. So we draw it by a tile ID, exported by tiled, which is the map we're using here. So in order to manipulate on the per pixel level, I mean, we would have to at the end of the day, I feel like we still have to do some crazy. Yeah, it's just an atlas. It's just all of it's drawn from one master atlas. So yeah, it's kind of weird like that. You know, shader might be it, but at the end of the day, we still have to, we'd have to tell the shader, hey, shade this thing as a vertical pathway or as a horizontal pathway. And we don't have any way of telling the game what that would look like. So we kind of, I don't know. I feel like we still have to do something like this at the end of the day. So it's like, it's just tough. I want this black pixel gone on the bottom left. Yeah, we could, but I feel like that's even more work than what I'm doing here. Because, I mean, even if we were able to get the shader working, what sucks is like, yeah, there's render order layer for certain shaders. I'm trying to think of how that would work, because like if we can say, hey, we search the neighbor tile and it goes, we search orthogonal tiles and it would say, okay, well, left and right are both a path, but up and down are a chasm, so therefore shade like a chasm like this. Have you done this in Lua, Puny? Or are you talking about in general? I mean, dude, I'm sure there is a way. I'm not about to figure out the shaders right now. You know, we're trying. It sucks, man. Every time every time I'm like, oh, I can do this better, it's like, okay, well, it's going to take me, you know, a month to figure that out. And then the game is like the game is 5% easier to make on the long term, but it's like 10% slower to make when I'm actually programming it. So it's like the trade-offs are crazy. I do want to do the dude, so Puny, I've tried the shader in Lua here, and I cannot figure a way how to actually here, I'll check it out. I'll check it out later. I don't want to whip up Discord on stream here because I've almost revealed some information before. But from what I could tell on the Lua shaders, like it was too much for me to wrap my head around on the pixel detection, because like with the quad system we're using with the Atlas, I'm not sure if it's able. I don't know, dude. I've done about like 15 minutes of shader trying on Lua, so I'm just not familiar with it yet. Yeah, we have like three different tile IDs, three different tile layers to work on. So when we're applying the shader over the tile map canvas, like we still would have to check. I guess we can check only the above ground tiles, do that neighbor detection, and then render the correct dithering. Yeah, I'm sure it's possible. I'm sure it's possible. Yeah, because it would be nice to kind of just automate this and we just draw land, chasm, shader, do your thing. Like that would be nice. Yeah. Okay, well here's the new 2 pixel shorter pathways now. For one room. With singular tiles, we have it fine still, but every other room we need to draw the corresponding chasm tiles. So, yeah, Puny. The more I think about it, I do think that can work fairly easily. If I could figure out, we'd have to hard code the. Well, I guess. Yeah, because then we would switch. We wouldn't have to do any of these edge pieces chasms. We would just say path or chasm, and then we can check the neighbor tiles to determine the proper dithering. But in a case like this one, you know, we have some dithering up the top edge, even though it's sharing with a pit. So I guess we would add, if it's a pit or a chasm, add that dithering. Yeah. Yeah, check if it's black. Yeah, we could do that. I've only kind of seen the shader work as like a lookup table where you can shift pixels based on certain values, like this if the neighbor pixel is black or not. But I don't know how to render a specific pattern given a certain condition with a shader. I've only done it where it's like, if it's brighter than the midpoint, tint it this color or something like that. So I haven't done much of that yet, but I'll check out that link you sent and see what's up. Everywhere we go, it's jacked up. I think we drew all of this on the wrong layer. Yeah. We drew all of this on the wrong layer. It works on the above ground. I think it works fine. It's not a tile ID or a chasm tile ID, so it should be fine. I'd rather it be on the ground level though. So fuck, man. I'm with you, Puny, though, because like if I knew how to do what you're saying, I totally would opt for that, because all we have to do is draw path, draw chasm, and then let the shader do its thing. That would be optimal. And that's the kind of thing, like, I'm making this game to figure out how to do, you know, like, how do we make it work for us easier? This looks so jacked up, man. We didn't scoot this black piece over. But how do we tell it to draw a specific pattern? Because if we wanted that dithering pattern of a black pixel every other piece, how do we tell the shader to only color every other tile on the orthogonal edge? I don't know how to do that. Like, I've seen where you do the set color and you give it that different color range, but I don't know how to do a pattern. Yeah, this is the piece. If you change a pixel on a place, when the shader draw the next, it'll pick the color of the changed pixel. Yeah, I'm gonna have to experiment with it. I'm gonna be doing a deep dive in the shader stuff after the demo's done, so that, because I want to render the tunics via shader, so we don't have to have 4 different atlases for the tunics, and make that a little easier. So I will be doing a deep dive on that stuff to do better. So I do plan on doing that. This is so jacked up, dude. Oh my god. Every piece is wrong, dude. Like, I'll try it. I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up a little later, Puny. I know when I've pulled up Discord before and I had to, like, not a decent channel open before. Yo, Sora, what's up, dude? What's up, man? Yo, we're just doing like the most tedious thing of my life in the game today. And it's a very slow going, I'll tell you that much. But it's good. I mean, it's I won't say it's easy, but it's not like crazy hard, it's just tedious. So like, we're adding the edge pieces to the ground here to kind of blend in with the chasm parts, but it looks jacked up like here, so we have to fix certain parts. And it's just slow going. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's so slow. Okay. I mean, I kind of like how janky it looks. Some of them need to be fixed. But I kind of like how rough it looks on some of them, but definitely not all of them. So we'll take out the top left piece on this one. Some of the actually. Yeah. Just so tedious for us to check which freaking tile is what and change one tile at a time and reload and save and see what's what. It just takes forever. I think it's this one. Yeah. You know, Puny just got done pitching a much better way of doing it, and I totally agree with him. It's like another thing for me to kind of dive into, and I'm like trying not to do too many new things before we finish the demo here. So I'm like a little hesitant to try his method, but I agree with him that it would be much better. If I could figure it out, but it's like I haven't done it before, so if I get stuck on it and we're still trying to finish the demo, that if it ends up taking me 2 days instead of the 1 day that I know the suck ass way takes, then we're a day behind on publishing the demo. But I do agree with him that it would be better. Yeah. Well, should we try it, Puny? Should we try it? I'm like, dude, because like, I know I've tried doing the shaders in the past, and dude, we've got so much shit going on because we like hacked our whole game together. So like, the maps and the scenes and the HUD are all on like different render order through the play state. So when I tried applying a shader to one part of the game, it depended not only on like the layer of the map tile on our tiled global map.lua export, but it also depended on the state we were in, which depended on, dude, it like I tried to literally just get, can I tint it green like a Game Boy? And I tried getting it like that, and I couldn't place the shader in a way that it actually worked, where it did it as I was expecting it to, just in the scene or just in the map, because we have a scene and a map, and like they shift as you walk around, and the render order layer just wasn't as simple as I thought it was going to be for adding shaders. So that's where my hesitation comes in too, is because I tried to literally just get things to be tinted green. Yo, Sora, thank you. Thanks for the love, man. Hope you're not stuck in a ad right now. Yeah, Puny, I did literally, I took one afternoon and tried to just get it tinted green like a Game Boy, for like a Game Boy shader. But the way the game is set up, there's so many different layers. Like, our player exists outside of the map and the scene because it needs to render on top of the map so it can scene transition underneath us. And I thought, I was like, just put it in the play state. Just put the shader in the play state, render everything in the play state, the shader, and that didn't work. So like, I'm a little hesitant to try it, but I do agree with you that it should be easy. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It sucks. Because, yeah, I mean, this is hell. It shouldn't be this hard. well, and the sad thing is too is like this does give us ultimately more control. It's more manual, but like if we wanted like a weird janky bit, we don't have to configure the shader, because I'm still not sure how we tell the shader how to dither it like this in a funky pattern. I don't know how we would do that. With that, because like if we randomize it, it'll look too bad, but they can't be the same. Yeah, I don't know. I'm totally with you. I think I should do that. It's just that last time I tried it, it was a lot more complicated than I thought because of the way the game's set up. You know, if I started a new project and it was only, you know, it was a very simple layout, I'm sure it would be as easy as you're pitching it to be. It's just that last time I tried it, it was so error prone. Yeah, I bet there probably are. But like I said, like the it's not so, yeah, it's not just that I don't think the dithering can be set up right. It's just that last time I did set it up, it created way more issues than I thought. And I kind of committed to saying, okay, I won't fuck with shaders again until the demo's done, and then we could just take some time. Yo, I like that, Puny, because then we could add like little splashes of water hitting things. Right? That would be really cool. To get little splashes of water when it is raining. That would be really cool. Okay. Yeah, I do think I am gonna do a deep dive on shaders, just not before the demo's done. You know, I said in February the demo was gonna be done at the end of February, and here we are. And then here we are, like doing all of this work for a 1 pixel change on the pathways, you know? It's just like I get so focused on one little aspect that probably isn't all that worth it. Yeah, if I didn't have such a headache with the first time I tried it, I would definitely take you up on doing it right now, Puny. Yeah. And this was one of those things I tried, like at the beginning of today's stream, I tried to avoid doing this. I was like, I don't really care about it. I'll just not worry about it. And then I was like, you know what? It does kind of bug me though. So we just got stuck doing this. Yeah, the game plan is definitely to do it. but the game plan is also to finish the demo 3 months ago. But then I'm spending an hour and a half just doing this shit. Yeah, I don't know, man. You gotta do it the hard way to appreciate the good way, you know? So here's my getting the hard way out of the way. The good news is, yeah, once this is... God damn it. Yeah, once we... This sucks, man. This sucks. I don't even see the freaking piece I'm trying to touch. This piece. Where's this piece? Yeah. Yeah. I tried to ignore it. I tried. I said we weren't going to do it. And then it bugged me, so here we are. I do think it... This is the one. This is the one. I do think it's ultimately worth it, even though it sucks right now. This will make figuring out the shader stuff, though, feel really good once we do that. Because this, yeah, this is not the way. You know, Puny, yo, I mean, I'm with you. It's just that when I did implement it, I literally just tried to tint it green. I'm like, if I can just tint the freaking game green, I tried putting the shader in main, I tried putting it in the play state, I tried putting it in the scene, in the map, and I could not get it consistent because the way my game is put together is just so janky, and I just couldn't figure it out. So if... You know, I mean, by the time I come back around to it, to the shaders, it will be, I'm sure we can figure it out. It's just that, yeah, man, it just wasn't so easy last time I tried. Why? I mean, I'm pretty happy with this. There's just like, why is this piece? This piece is literally the same. Why? Oh, we have above ground. Oh my god. We've been drawing it on the wrong layer. Yo, what is wrong with this fucking... Dude, it is so hard to see which piece is what on here. If I knew from the get-go this was going to take an hour and a half, I probably would have just sucked it up and tried to do the shaders. But we're so close to finishing this crappy method that in order for it to be good enough to just ship in the demo, we're almost there. But yeah, moving forward, I do not want to do this again. I mean, this one is harder particularly because I have to fix the tiles as we do it. If we didn't have to fix the tiles as we were doing it, this wouldn't feel so bad. Yeah, what's up, Puny? Hit me. That's so annoying, man. Make this map an image and render the entire image. Then use invisible tiles for collision. Yo, dude, you're above my pay grade. My pay grade is like budget. my budget is 0. My research, my R&D development is 0. My labor budget 0. I'm about to say that this is good enough, man, because like draw an image under the cover and the entire map under the tiles. So you're talking about using like a sort of like an image mat to make like to for us to kind of declare what a pathway is, what a chasm is, so that if a pathway is touching a chasm, then we can go and render the dithering on the edge after we do the neighbor detection. Parallax mapping. I'll have to look into that. This is obnoxious, dude. Yeah, I'm literally gonna like, this is just obnoxious. I mean, I might just call this version good enough, and then I'll try the shader tomorrow. If the shader fails, then we have this shitty version. But yeah, I tried maybe like 2 hours to get the shader working in game, just doing anything. Especially with the scene transitions, it's more complexity because it has to draw the shader on the scene transitions and stuff like that. So that stuff got complicated for me too. So I'll give it a shot, but we have this shitty version. If gosh, it looks so bad, dude. It looks so bad. What looks so bad about it? Like, I like that it's messy. It looks better than the checkerboard, but some of it just looks so bad to me. Oh God. It's like, what the fuck? What do you mean auto tiles? Yeah, I mean, we aren't drawing. All of our tiles are dumb in that sense. We don't do anything like a neighbor. Oh, with simple tiles aware. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I definitely, moving forward in the process of this game, I want to do something other than this for sure. But I think for right now, this is good, and we'll just draw it. I mean, like little things like this, it's like, it looks like a little L here, but we can't change the black pixels on this piece because it affects how it blends with every other piece over here. Like if we change, so like those ones are lining up now on the verticals when they didn't used to. It adds like a little more randomness, but it doesn't look as polished as I would like it to. Yeah, I'm just pixel peeping at this point, man. I'll just continue on and just add them, and then we'll just freaking call it. And then moving forward, you know, for the real game, I want to do what you're talking about, Puny. I think that is a cool way to handle it, and probably the way I should have handled it. I'd say definitely the way I should have handled it. But yeah, just didn't do it. Yeah, this isn't bad. It's just that like there's only like two combinations that I've seen that just don't look good. And they just bug me. See, like this, it's like there's like 2 black pixels in the random, in the floating in the space there. It looks weird. Yeah, it's just one of those things, Puny. It's like, I don't really care what other people will notice. It's just like, I want it to be something I'm really proud of. So if it bugs me, that's all that matters. That's kind of how I feel about it. But then, you know, this is just going to be in the demo. Hopefully in the real thing, it would be more polished. This is looking good though. I mean, I'm okay with this now. I like how random it looks. Like it looks like it doesn't look like that checkerboard pattern. It does look more random. So this is in our, okay, cool. So yeah, we're already working. We've done 2 scenes in our 6 scene dungeon. So the rest of it shouldn't be that hard to just draw in. Cool, so we're done with that one. That one was pretty easy. This one's going to be really easy. See, like on simple rooms like this, it's not bad. but still, I would like it if it was just a one button thing. Just let the shader handle it, like Puny's saying. I kind of like it, and it's like there's certain stuff like the green tunic in the inventory looks so ugly. Like it looks so ugly, but I made a better version of it, and it didn't look good. Like there's something to the imperfection of the shittiness of me bodging it together that actually makes it look better than if we were to program a shader or do some random number generator for the shader or something. Like there's some sort of magic to the handcraftedness that even though it sucks in its manual, it just makes it look better, more unique, I guess. It's one of those like kind of like you can't really talk about why or how it does look like that, but I don't know. It's just like there's something about it, like especially with the the symmetry just doesn't look that good. Because I've tried, like I drew up even the bats. It's like the bats in this game I whipped up in like 20 seconds in Sprite. Like I just do a shitty little thing, and then now I'm not going to change the bats. I just like the bats now, and there were meant to be a placeholder pixel art for it, but they've grown on me, and like I like how they look now. So I definitely, I like that imperfection. It just feels more like a, instead of a paint by numbers, it's like more of a smearing, or you know what I mean, like just like a different, it's not a perfect art, it's like a expression, I don't know, it's like a, I mean, I like how awkward some of these edges look. Yeah, more interesting. Okay, we're just about done. We've got only one scene left. So yeah, once we fixed all the tiles, you know, this one still bugs me. This one with the 2 pixels floating there, I don't like. But if we were to switch the left tile, it affects every left tile, and it would look off everywhere else. Actually, no, it would look better here. Yeah, let's take that off. And the left only one. God, my posture is so crappy right now. Okay, that actually does look better. Okay, there's still one floaty pixel there, but if we take it out on the edge piece, let's see what other... Yeah, so this is another same edge piece. So if we take out the piece that's floating, it's that rightmost one. Yeah, we can probably get rid of it. Yeah, let's try it. Because that's the only one that actually bugs me. Okay, that's much better for that. Oh, now we got this shit. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. Looks great. Looks wonderful. Okay. Okay, one last room and then we're done with this monstrosity. This wasn't even on my bingo card today, you know? Like, I wasn't even... I forgot about this until I literally just played the demo and saw that we had this issue still. Or, yeah, actually, we didn't decide. Yeah, we decided because it bugged us that we wanted to do something about it. But this wasn't on my game plan to do today. Okay, sweet. I think that's it. All right, let's play it. Let's play the dungeons and see if anything kind of rubs us the wrong way, and we'll test if the new holy room works. Bro. Okay, we gotta export the global map. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, sweet. Yeah, it looks good. Let's see if the corners feel okay. Yes. See, that was what I... Yes, okay. That made it worth it. Because before this, standing here would actually... Yeah, standing here actually looked like you were on more ground than you actually were. The collisions didn't change, but the ground underneath our feet changed. And it's more forgiving. You know, it'll still catch you if you try to cut the corner too soon, but we have literally 2 more pixels of leeway for us to not be pulled in there, because this shouldn't pull us in, right? Like, it doesn't look like we're in the hole, whereas before we did this, we had 1 more pixel on either side being a chasm, and then it would pull us in. And then we have the singular pit collision too, so you can actually platform a bit. I know, Puny. I know I managed to escape a little bit longer. I didn't think it would take me that long, honestly, to do what I did, so if I knew it was going to take me that long, I might have just done it. Okay, so this is looking good. It does look different than it used to, but it's unique. Oh god, it's gonna kill me. And just check that. Oh man, that felt a little weird. Because we used to be able to walk on the corners. We used to be, if you were pixel perfect, you were able to walk on the edge. In the air, in the middle of the chasm, you can walk on top of the air. But yeah, we got rid of that now. Dude, get back in there. Okay. Oh my gosh. See, look at that. I don't know. That looked too close. That probably should have pulled us in, huh? I don't know. It's hard to say because it's like if the gravity pulls you in too fast, it just feels unfair. So I like kind of, oh my god, dude, he killed my, oh my god. That was definitely messed up. We didn't account for that. If your green tunic's equipped and you're falling and you're in the death animation, it still rendered the tunic death animation. So we have to only render the tunic death animation if we're not falling, but then if we're falling, render the falling tunic animation. So that's an obscure little bug. Let's see, that would be in what? Oh my god, dude. Player death, green tunic. Okay, so we have a player death state and a falling chasm state. It's in the player death state. We don't want to render, we want to do this because this is when we're actually dead, but we're not drawing the falling animation when we're dead. We're drawing our player's current animation. Okay, so I guess we can say this if green tunic is equipped and our player falling, then we want to draw the green tunic falling in this death state. We have this in the play state, just not in the death state or in the walk state. So if our green tunic is equipped and not falling, then we want to render, if we're not falling, we want to render the death green tunic overlay. But if we are falling, we want to render the green tunic falling. God, that's fucking weird. But we have a character death green tunic and then a character falling, right? A character falling green tunic. Character fall green tunic. Yeah, character fall green tunic. So character fall green tunic. Okay, so if we're falling, we render the fall one. If we're not falling, we just render the death one. So now if we go into that situation again, it would hopefully fix it. But we'd have to die, we'd have to get one, we'd have to be 1 health from dying and then get shot so that our death animation triggers, but that we fall into, so let's do this here. We'll just have to make sure a spitball kills us. Still wrong. Still wrong. Shit. It didn't draw the character death green tunic, but the character fall green tunic looked off. Okay, let's do this different. We'll say if green tunic's equipped, then if our player's falling, and this is in the render, okay. Yeah, if we're falling, we render the fall green tunic. Else, if we're not falling, render the death. Okay, let's go to our player. Let's give ourselves 1 health so we can test this faster. Okay, so we want to check. We want to check if a spitball kills us and we don't fall into a thing, that it still renders the death animation. So we'll try to get hit here. Okay, so that looks like it worked. It rendered the green tunic fine. Let's see if we get spitballed into the pit. If it renders the falling... See, that's what's crazy, is because the falling gets triggered, or the death animation gets triggered when we die. See, and then we fall. Dude, why is that wrong still, though? Because we changed it in the state machine. Because the player death state... Oh, we must change it. Because there's a time where we're saying, even if we're dead, if we're in a pit, we have to become falling so that we can't get knocked back and play our death animation on top of a pit. We have to trigger the pitfall. So there must be a thing where we're triggering the pitfall. Did we call it pitfall? No. See, we have a falling animation. Shit, man. Because, yeah, this is the one awkward thing, is like... We're rendering the green tunic if we fall, but not if we die and then we fall. Because if we die, we're just rendering the death tunic. So maybe it's not... We want to render the death tunic. See, but we were falling. We were falling unless when we die, we're not... Let's print up if we're falling or not by the time we die and get triggered fall. Because falling could be a boolean to trigger something instead of the actual boolean of it being in the fall animation. And that's kind of what I'm thinking is the case. So let's print it up and just see. So we'll say we'll print up if our player's falling right here, and we'll get hit by a spitball into a pit and see if falling is true as we're falling in the pit, because I think it won't be true. Did it work that time? It looked like it rendered the tunic correct that time. Couldn't tell with the bat spit in my face. No. Shit. I don't know, man. It's just a bug we gotta fix some other time. Because I am out of it. We'll check our get diff. We did a lot of tile ID differences because we added like 10 more pit scenes. We added a whole different global table to our scenes called pits for the individual collision. And we gave the pits a different chasm collision detection so that we can get away with the holy room. But we kept the chasm detection for the gaping chasm holes. And then we still have this bug on the player fall. But let's take out this debug render before we commit, and then we'll just call it a night there. And I'll just have to do some more digging, like, to see what the issue is with the death render there, because I would think that what we did would fix it, but it didn't fix it. So we'll git commit we'll say that we added we add pit table to scenes and lenient collision for pits with strict collision on chasms. Yeah, I'm sure. And that's another reason why I'm like calling it puny, because I feel like that's going to happen, that I'll just kind of come up with the solution a little later on instead of just trying to dig on it when I'm burnt out. But we got our holy room back. We got pit collision working, and then we got chasm collision working better. 2 pixel worth of buffer on the floor, so it feels more fair when you fall into a pit because you have two less ground pixels underneath your feet. So this before, if you stood like this in the other one, it would have pulled you into the chasm, which didn't feel right. So we gave it took us a long time, but we gave it 2 pixels of buffer for the ground, so it feels more fair. What's on the list for the demo still is we need 3 new NPCs to put in the town. We need some new sprites for like stuff inside the cabins for the NPCs are going to live in the house, but we don't have any furnishings in the house, so we need to make some new sprites to kind of tidy up the house and make it look pretty. We need to finalize the overworld map with we got the layout fairly good, but we need to finalize the layout and build out the right pathways. We need to add geckos to the gecko road. We need to add geckos to the dark forest. We probably need to add collision detection for the geckos on collidable map objects so they can't walk on top of trees. We also need to add the fisherman's boat, and we need to... What else? That's about it for the demo. Yeah, other than random bug fixes like the one we just found, that and some play testing, for the save files and loading everything, and other than that, the demo is basically done. So we're very, very close, but it is a lot of work to develop 3 new NPCs with different animations and dialogues and furnished housing, pixel art stuff. Like, it's not easy, but it's not a whole lot of work. So we're still going to shoot for end of this month to finish the demo. I don't think that's too hard. I can take maybe like 8 hours one day and just knock out some of the pixel art for the NPCs, and then just come in and implement it here on stream or something, or just do it on stream. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let's run credits, and we will call it a night and find someone to raid out to. Thanks for hanging, y'all. I'll be back tomorrow with some more game dev work, and we will raid out here to somebody. Yo, thanks for the suggestions, Puny. I'll take a look at the Discord. Yo, we've got Aria. Yeah, I think we'll raid out to Aria ADM. So, oh, you know what? She's just playing a game. Let's try to find someone who's coding. We'll hit up Booyah. We'll hit up Booyah Grandma. Yo, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace out. Have a good night.